It's Rick with Rock Bottom Outreach, and it's Real Talk Friday. And I know some of you are disappointed to see me back again. And you're going, where are the boys at? Where's Tad and Toby at? But they will be back, I promise you. I needed a break in a big way. And so talking to the boys, knew that this is something they could do. And here's what people don't realize. Do you know the 12 disciples? There was only one of them that was close to the age of 20, and that was Peter. But everyone else was under the age of 20, so that would make them what? Teenagers. And so we just miss the fact, young people especially, that they can do so much for God's kingdom. And they think they're too young. But on the flip side, adults also see them as kids, and they really can't do anything. I hope over the last several days, watching Tad and Toby, that somehow we can kind of break that theory, if you would, and say, man, kids are just as gifted as anybody when it comes to kingdom building. Today we're talking about this. We're talking about, image. And my question is this today. How many people really know you? I mean, honestly, who can you be vulnerable around and to let that person inside of you, let that person in, that barrier that you've put up? Someone that's not going to judge you, they're not going to bash you, they're not going to make fun of you. Because I see people all the time that they have 10 different personalities based on who they're standing in front of. But you know who they're not? They're never themselves. They're never vulnerable enough to say, man, what you see is what you get. When I hit rock bottom in 08, I realized I was made in God's image, and He's the one I was really accountable to. He is the one that His opinion mattered more than anybody. And so I realized then, man, I'm enough. I'm enough just the way I am. God says in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, He says this. Think about this. So God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God, He created them. Male and female, He created them. So if the only perfect person was God, and He made man and women in His own image, He made them perfectly. Would you not agree? So why are you so afraid of people knowing who you really are? Why are you so guarded with this wall? You don't want people to, to see you when you're sad or when you're struggling. That's the deal, man. That's when we build relationships, and we have those kind of people in our lives that we need. Around us are the ones that love us, what? Unconditionally. And you don't got to be doing all that role playing. That is the person, those people you want in your life. Even let's say you get in a relationship, you're dating someone, man, and you got to put on this front 24/7, or that person's not going to like who you are, or so you think that. Let me tell you, you're with the wrong person. You are with the wrong person. You got to be able to just be yourself, knowing God says you're perfect. And if they don't like that person, they need to hit the road, Jack. Kids especially, teenagers, if you're listening, man, we try so hard in school to be popular, to be this, to be that. And I've always said this, man, you got to learn how to ride your tractor. And it means this, you got to be you. Who you are is perfect, and that's enough. Are you one of those listening today that you struggle in having 10 personalities, that every time you're in this environment, you act this way, you're in this environment, you act this way, and it just goes on because you're so insecure. And guess what? You don't want nobody to know that. You don't want anybody to know you struggle. You don't want them to know you're insecure, because then what? What would they think of you? Come on now. Ain't nothing wrong with being transparent and real. That's what we call real talk at Rock Bottom Outreach. Have a great Friday.